Okay, I'm making this video just to go over a couple of things we did in class yesterday. Or in the case of set 1 boys that we didn't do in class because you were too disruptive. Just a message to set 1 boys, year 8 actually. This might be the last time I make a video because your behaviour is really disgraceful. And I'm here on my day off. I'm making a video to help you do well in your midterm exam, while in the classroom you are constantly disrespectful, rude, and just generally very belligerent and not helpful. You make my life very difficult. So I'm taking my time out now in my own time that I don't have to do this to help you. So you remember that the next time you're in class and you try to interrupt me, because it might be the last time I make a video. Okay, I'm going to go on with it. So here we go. I just tidied this up a bit. This is basically what I wrote. So you're going to be asked a question, like you're going to be given this arrangement, like a pie chart with some angles, and you'll be given at least one value. Like we call this frequency. It's just a value. Okay. So basically, people are asked to choose their favorite food. The survey found the following. So this is what they found. They represent on a pie chart. So we have 80 degrees represents lettuce. 80 degrees represents cheese, this angle represents sugar, and 407 people chose cake. Okay, so like with every question that I ever do, and that I always suggest to you, write down the information that you know, draw a diagram if necessary. Well, luckily here we have a diagram, so we don't need to draw it. So if you're like a waiter in a restaurant, you don't want to balance 7 or 8 plates because you only have 2 hands, right? So put down some of the plates, write it down on the sheet, and make life easy for yourself. So here we go. We know that symbol represents 90 degrees. So I'm actually going to change the color. 90 degrees. Okay, so then we know the angle in a circle is 360. So to get this unknown angle here, we just do 360. So these are all degrees, minus 90 degrees, minus 80 degrees, minus 80 degrees. So when you do that, you should get 110 degrees. Because 80 plus 80 is 160, plus 90 is 250. So 360 minus 250 is 110. So this angle here is 110 degrees. Cool. That's helpful. We know all the angles now. And we know one of the values for cake. So we know that 110 degrees is the equivalent of 407 people, right? So I gave this little formula. Some people who are missing, you might not know this formula. So I just given it to you here. In class, I taught you a longer way because I wanted you to understand what we were actually doing. But because it's Ramadan, time is very short, people are tired, people are missing days. I'm not sure how many of you took that in. I think some of you did, but anyway, this is a shortcut. But I don't want to give you shortcuts. When I teach maths, I don't teach maths for people to pass exams. I teach maths for people to understand maths. And that means if you understand maths, you can pass any exam because you can adjust. You don't have to know exactly how they're going to ask the question. You don't have to have the same style of question. You don't have to have the exact same like Excel or AQA or all these different exam boards. You can adjust to any circumstance. If you understand maths, you can go to China and do an exam as long as it's in a language that you understand. The style doesn't matter. That's what happens if you know maths. But if you just studying to pass exams, that's different. And I'm here to teach you maths so that you understand the subject. Anyway, let's get on with it. So for this formula, okay, so you're asked how many people chose sugar, okay? So we know how many people chose cake, and we know the angle for everything. So an easy way to find out any other category's value is just use this. So get the value of the category we know and the angle of that category. Okay, so we know the angles of all categories, but we only know the value of one. So it's this, right? So we're going to have to use the angle 110 and the value 407, because cake is the only category whose value we know and whose angle that we know. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we'll get 407 divided by the angle, which is 110 degrees. Okay, you don't really need to put the units in the formula, it's more at the end, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll put in 110, and we're going to multiply that by the angle of the category that we want to know. I just call it angle B, okay? Which is sugar. You can call it angle S for sugar if you want. You can call it value C, angle C for cake if you want. It's just so we know they're different. So sugar has angle is 90 degrees. So basically what we're really doing here is saying, well, 110 degrees represents 407 people. Now we want to know what 90 degrees represents, so we just multiply that by 90. And when you do that, you could do it without a calculator, because 407 divided by, if you can think about it, 407 divided by 11 is 77. So divided by 110 is 7.7. Anyway, when you multiply it out, doesn't matter, you'll get 333. You'll be able to do it on a calculator in the test. So that means 333 people chose sugar. Okay, that's that. Or, yeah, so, well, let's have, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Well, sugar has 90 degrees and it has 333 people. Cake has 110 degrees, so it's a little bit bigger, and has 407 people, which is a little bit bigger than that. So it makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, done. Is that easy peasy? So if you're looking for, I should probably say, use this formula to find the value of a category. Okay. Okay, I've adjusted this formula. Just say the value B, so that's the value of the category that we want, so in this case is sugar, is equal to value A divided by angle A. So that's the value of a different category divided by the angle of that different category. So in this case it was cake divided 407 divided by 110, multiply by the angle of the category that we want, okay? So to get the value of the category that you want, get the value of another category divided by its angle and multiply it by the angle of the category that you want. And that will give you it. If you wanted to find like the total, if they asked you, like say, I'll actually do it with this one. If they asked you, here's another question. So find the total, I'll put in capitals, number of people surveyed. Okay, so if they ask you to find the total, we can just do the same thing, right? We'll just use this. So it's going to be the exact same thing. So honestly, it's, let's see, it's that simple. So we'll have everything almost exactly the same. So you're going to have this. Okay. So we just look at our formula and we'll have value, so that's the total value, is value A divided by angle A, well 407 divided by 110, yes, multiplied by an angle of the category that we're looking for. Well, what's the category we're looking for? The total. What angle represents the total? 360 degrees. Okay. So if you do that on your calculator, you will get a total. And that will be how you do that. Okay? So it should be no big deal, really, to do that. So if you actually want the answer, I don't have a calculator right now, but 90 degrees is 333. So 360 degrees is 4 times this. Yeah? So that should be 1, 3, 3, 2. Okay, people. So there should be 1, 3, 3, 2 people in total. So if you do it on a calculator, you can do that. An easy way to do it is, well, 3 times 333 is 999. Yeah? So we need to get 4 times it. So we just add 333. Anyway, you can do it on a calculator. Piece of cake. So that's that. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, that's it. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. So here we are. How many people ate pizza? So we'll just get our formula again and we'll just kind of use it. So, same arrangement. How many people ate pizza? So we'll get these formulas and we'll stick them down here in the corner. Okay, well, what do we know about this? We have a number of angles, right? So we have a 90-degree angle, so let's just fill that in, that information. What else do we have here? That's 90 degrees. We know 90 plus 70 is 160, plus 50 is 210. So if we use our heads, we take these away from 360, we'll know that's 150 degrees. Alright? So now we have a category whose angle we know and whose value we know. Oh, yeah, we can use this formula. So let's do it. So we know that we want to find out how many people ate pizza. How many people ate pizza? So let's just do that. We're going to put pizza. So the pizza people is going to be calculated by, this is the cake, again it's cake, we know the value and we know the angle, so it's going to be 135 over 150. That's degrees, just in case you're wondering where it came from. And we're going to multiply that by the angle that we're looking for. Well, the angle for pizza is 90, so we're going to multiply it by 90 degrees, and that'll give you your answer. So 135 divided by 150 is 0.9, and then that times 90 is 81 people. So 81 people. Okay? If you want to find the total, do you want to just do it? You can pause the video and try it yourself and then see if you get the right answer. So just pause the video now and come back after you've tried it. Okay, so if you have tried it, what you should get is, well, we're just going to use the exact same. 135, 150, and we're going to multiply it by the angle that we're looking for. Well, for the total, as we said before, 360 degrees represents the total. So it's going to be 4 times this, so 4 times 81 is 324 people. I really should have my calculator with me, but I don't need it. Okay, cool. So that's that. All good. So we'll just stick these in. Fill opacity. Yeah, and that's it. So that's basically how we do that. Any questions? No, didn't think so. Okay, we'll move on. I think that was that question, right? No, is this slightly different again? Okay, let's see. Is this a slightly different question? Yeah, okay, I'll go through this. Let's just do it. Okay, pause the video, try this question. Looks like it was drawn by Leonardo da Vinci. But it might not have been. Okay, pause the video, try the question, let's see if you get the answer. Come back. Do it now. Okay, so we're looking for how many people ate pizza. So let's do it. Pizza. So you should have had pizza equals value. Well, what value do we know? We know that's 70. We know this is 90 degrees. 70 plus 80 is I'm getting ahead of myself. 70 and 80 is 150 plus 90 is 240 degrees. So that means this angle should be 120 degrees. Okay. So pizza, we have the people, we have the value. We have the value, we have the angle. So it's 180 over 120. And we're going to multiply that by the angle of the category that we want to know. So it's going to be 70 times 70, okay? And that should give you your answer. So let's have a go. So I know that this is 1.5 because 18 divided by 12 is 1.5. Times that is 105. So you should have got 105 people. Okay? 105 people. You're not asked for the total. If you want to find the total, pause the video, give it a go now. Okay, so if you're back 181, okay, there's 120. And we're going to multiply by 360. I'm just leaving out the degree. You don't need them in the actual calculations. So you're going to get this, 1.5 times 360 is 540 people. How do I know that? Well, 1 times 360 is 360. And then 1/2 times 360 is 180. So 180 plus 360 is 540. 18 plus 36 is 54. Okay, done. So I usually like to put a little cloud around these when I'm finished, just so that we can see the answer clearly. Alright, so that's it. Done. That and that. Okay, any more? Okay, so here people were asked about their favourite teacher. So you have Mr. Ahmed, obviously very popular, Mr. Owen, Mr. Dawood, and Ms. Guntaz. So we're asked how many people chose Miss Guntaz. So let's go. So what we did was, remember, so let's go Ms. Guntaz. So Ms. Guntaz, remember, it's the value of the category divided by the angle of the category. So we know Mr. Owen has 170 degrees and 357 people chose him. So I'll put it in red, that's how we had it before. So it's going to be 357 divided by 170. And we're going to multiply that by the angle of the category that we want, which is 50 degrees, Miss Guntaz. Okay. So 357 divided by this is 21 times 50 is 105. And that's it, people. So 105 people chose Miss Guntaz. So how many, let's say, how many students, oops, let's do that again. So how many students in total? How many students in total? How many students were there? Well, it's just going to be the exact same, isn't it? Except for the total, it's always 360, yeah? So it's always, the angle is 360 degrees. So you do that, and what do we get? Okay, so let's do this. So 10 10 degrees would be 21 people. So that means 60 degrees is 126 people. And 6 times 126 is 756. So the answer should be 756 people. If I'm wrong, let me know, but I think I'm right. People is one word. That okay? Thought so. So yeah, that's that. Pretty straightforward. Once we get into the hang of it, into the groove. So that's it. And that's that one. So that's pretty much it on those type of questions. Okay, so if I jump back here, we did these tally charts. So we had these colors: pink, pink, red, red, blue, red, pink, blue, 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 green. We just had to make a tally chart. So it's this frequency table. Okay, so we have color is the category. We have 4 different colors: pink, red, blue, and green. Tally is just how you count, and then the frequency is the actual number in digits. So pink. So what you do is, I think you've done this before. I'll use a red highlighter. Okay, so pink. So you just count 1, 2, 3. Strike them off, and you put in 1, 2, 3, and then we go blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have another one. Yeah, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously these are blank. When do you want me to just? Yeah, no, I'll just leave it. It's fine. You'll understand it. Red. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and green. 1. Okay, so these will be blank. So you just go 3, 3, 5, 1. The total frequency is 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 5 is 11 plus 1 is 12. So the total is down here. Easy peasy. Yeah, so then you might be asked, represent that on a bar chart. So you just, for pink, we go up to 3. For red, we go up to 3. For blue, we go up to 5. And so that's obviously, you don't have to write this in, just so you know, 5. And for green, it's just 1. Okie dokie. So if this was actually drawn accurately, that would be it. Okay, so you might be asked, what's the probability of blue? So it's obviously 5 over 12. The probability is the number that of the category that you're looking for divided by the total. So we have 5 blue divided by 12. 5 out of 12. Probability of choosing green, if I was just to choose at random, 1 out of 12. Probability of red is 3 out of 12, which simplified is 1 out of 4. Probability of not green, so that's every color except green. So red, 3, pink, 3, that's 6, and blue, 5, that's 11, so it's 11 out of 12. If you're very smart, you'll know that the probability of not green is the same as 1 minus the probability of green. That equals 1 minus 1 over 12. That equals 12 over 12. 12 over 12 is 1, isn't it? Yeah. Minus 1 over 12. That's 11 over 12. Or you can just count them and get 11 over 12. Fine. That's that. Okay, these. Okay, let's do that with our new method. Let's just go through this. 300 people were surveyed. How many people liked each player? So you just do, as I said, 300 people. So we know it's 300. Sugar, it's a bit dense. So I'm going to make it a different color too. So it's 300 people surveyed. So you can do it a number of ways. You can do it the way we had. So we had the value divided by the angle multiplied by the new angle, right? So the value is 300. The angle, 300 represents 360 degrees, right? That's everybody. Multiplied by the new angle. So you just multiply by 90 to get this. You multiply by 162 to get this. You multiply by 60 to get this, and you multiply by 48 to get that. That's it. This gives us 1 degree, okay? 300 divided by 360, that means every 1 degree will give us this value. And then you multiply by the number of degrees. So just multiply this by everything. Same here, 72 people were surveyed. Remember, it's the value of the category. Well, this time we don't have a category. It's just the value of the whole lot, which is 72. What angle represents the whole lot? 360 degrees. And just multiply that by each angle here, and it'll give you the total. 40 people chose Ferrari. How many people were surveyed in total? This is exactly the same as we had. So we know that Ferrari is 40, yes. So we're going to get the value over the angle. It's probably getting boring at this stage. And then we're going to multiply that by the new angle, and it'll give us the total of each. Same thing here, 40 chose vanilla, so you're going to have 40 over 90 degrees. Multiply by each. This down here tells you what to do. Yeah, but this was explaining in detail what was going on. But anyway, now we know the shortcut. So 126 people chose Instagram. How many chose Snapchat? So as I told you, the value of Instagram is 126. The angle is 21. 21. And then we're just going to multiply with that. I'll just redo that. And then we're just going to multiply that by each angle. It's 21 degrees. You're just going to multiply that by each angle if you want the total. I believe this should be 49 here. There was a typo. Anyway. Yeah, so for Snapchat it's 90 degrees. So it's going to be this times 90. Value divided by the angle times 90. Same here. We have these fish and chips. The pie chart shows information about visitors to restaurants in the town. 375 people have fish and chips. So just put that in, write it in straight away. How many people had pizza? So value divided by the angle, multiply by the angle of the category we want. So do that now, see what you get. Stop the video and come back. Alright, so 375 divided by 125. And we're going to multiply it by pizza. What's the angle? Okay. 75 plus 25 is 100. 100 plus 125 is 225. 225 plus 70 is 295. So that means this angle must be 65 degrees. So pizza is 65 degrees. Oops. 65 degrees. Alright. So what you'll do is you'll get this and you multiply by 65. I know this is 3. 3 times 65 is 195. You should get 195 when you do it. Okay, if you're stuck on any of these, contact me if you're stuck. If I see your email, I'll get back to you. If I don't, then yeah, just pop into me on Sunday morning. BF15. Okay, that's it. Thank you and goodbye.